Hello, chosen one. You didn't choose this message. It chose you. Something inside your soul brought you here. You've felt it for years, the silent ache, the strange knowing that you were never like the rest. You've always been the quiet observer in loud rooms, the one who thinks deeply, feels deeply, even when no one around you understood why. In the middle of people, you still felt alone. Not because something was wrong with you, but because something ancient was right within you. Your soul has never belonged to the ordinary, and that deep discomfort had died you, and that ache of not fitting in, it wasn't a flaw, it was your first awakening. You see, chosen one, you were never supposed to fit into a world built on illusion, fear, and noise. You were born to see through it, to pierce the veil, to feel the pain others avoid, to awaken where others sleep. That feeling of being out of place, it was sacred. It was your soul remembering a higher realm, a place of truth, of light, of divine alignment. This world tried to tell you who to be. They labeled you as too sensitive, too quiet, too much, or not enough. But the truth is, you were never too much. They just couldn't hold the depth of your being, and maybe that made you shrink. Maybe it made you question your worth. You tried to blend in. You tried to silence your light, but it never worked, did it? Because no matter how much you tried to dim your truth, something inside you kept rising. Some voice in the dark kept whispering, "You don't belong here," because you were sent to change here. You weren't rejected by the world. You were redirected by the universe. You were chosen, not for comfort, but for a calling. A calling that would take you through loneliness, through questioning, through emotional storms, but ultimately into your power. And I know, it's painful to feel like an outsider in your own life. It's heavy to carry emotions no one else sees. But I want you to hear this. Your disconnection was the divine setting you apart, so you could see deeper, so you could heal differently, so you could guide others through the darkness one day. There's a fire in your soul that the world couldn't put out, even when it tried. Even when you tried. You are not broken. You are not lost. You are simply awakening. This is not the end of your loneliness. It's the beginning of your rising. So now, chosen one, let's walk deeper into the path you've already been walking alone. Because behind your quiet eyes are silent battles no one ever knew. And it's time we honor the war you've survived. Shall we go there? You've smiled when your heart was breaking. You've carried conversations while your soul was screaming. And behind those eyes are stories no one has ever heard. Because, chosen one, the most sacred battles are the ones no one sees. You didn't bleed on the outside. You bled within, quietly, courageously, silently. The pain you've endured didn't come with applause. There were no medals, no recognition, no rescue. Only you, and the crushing weight of questions like, why me? Will it ever get better? Am I strong enough to survive this? And still, you rose. Even on the days your knees buckled. even when your faith felt paper thin. Even when all you could do was breathe, you were becoming. Because before a chosen one is crowned in light, they are baptized in fire. This wasn't punishment. This was initiation. You were never abandoned. You were being anointed. Not by people, but by the divine, by forces greater than you could see, by a destiny that saw something in you, something eternal. Do you remember those nights you wept in silence? Those moments you begged the universe for a sign, a voice, a reason, a relief? It was heard. Every tear, every whisper, every ache. Nothing was wasted. Not your pain, not your silence, not even your breakdowns. Because the pain didn't destroy you. It revealed you. The scars you carry aren't signs of weakness. They are sacred marks of where your soul was forged in holy fire. You didn't walk through hell to stay there. You walked through hell so you could lead others out of it. There is a strength in you that most will never understand, because they didn't see what you've survived. They didn't feel what you've healed. They don't know what it took just to be standing here. But I know. And more importantly, your soul knows. It remembers who you are. Not who the world told you to be, but who you were before the pain, before the masks, before the hiding. And that version of you, that sacred, powerful, divine version, is returning. Every heartbreak was chiseling away what you were not. Every betrayal was preparing you for the truth. Every loss was making space for your becoming. You've cried enough. You've fought enough. You've survived enough. Now it's time to rise. But to rise fully, chosen one, you must first remember what the pain was preparing you for. Because beneath the ashes of everything you lost, your divine purpose is waiting to be uncovered. Let's go deeper, to the moment your soul began to awaken. You've noticed it again, 111 on the clock. A receipt, a license plate, a random notification, again and again. It follows you. This isn't coincidence. This is communication. Hello, chosen one. The universe is speaking to you. And 111 is not just a number, it's a code, a divine whisper from the unseen realms. A soul alarm sent straight from the higher dimensions to your waking mind. When you see 111, it's not just about timing, it's about alignment. It's a reminder. You are not lost. You are not forgotten. You are not alone. You are being activated. That number, a 1 to 1 to 1, is your higher self knocking at the door of your awareness. It's the voice of your angels saying, wake up. You are more than this body, more than this fear, more than what this world has told you. It's time to remember who you are, why you came, and what you're here to do. You didn't choose to see these signs. They chose you because you're ready. The pain you've been through, it cracked open the veil. And now you're sensitive to divine frequencies that others miss. That's why you see 111 so often. Soul-shaking realization. Every time 111 appears, your angels are whispering, step into alignment. Trust the path. You are right where you need to be. It means a chapter is closing, a new one is beginning. But this time, you won't enter it asleep. You will enter awake. 7 is a portal, and your soul just walked through it. Every time you see it, pause, breathe, feel, because it's not just a number. It's a vibration, a frequency of remembrance. Your old self is dissolving. Your true self is emerging. And 111 is the trumpet call of your transformation. You're not imagining it. You're being invited into the next level of your destiny. So the next time 111 appears, don't just glance at it. Close your eyes and say, yes, I'm ready. Because you are. And now that you've heard the call, it's time to remember what you came here to create. Your reality is not random. It's a reflection of your soul's permission. Let's go deeper into the power you hold to manifest your destiny. Chosen one. There's something I need to tell you. That quiet season of your life. The one where it felt like everyone disappeared, where the silence was so loud and the nights felt endless. That was never a punishment. It was preparation. You weren't forgotten. You were being set apart. You see, before God sends a soul into divine destiny, He first removes every voice that competes with His. He takes you away from the crowd so you can finally hear your own soul speak, so you can finally feel His whisper in your spirit. You didn't lose people. They were removed. You didn't fall behind. You were slowed down to speed up later. That isolation you resented, it was sacred. It was holy, because in that silence, something ancient woke up inside you. You began to see through illusions. You noticed what others ignored. You cried tears that only heaven saw. And in the middle of your emptiness, a fire was lit. A quiet knowing began to grow that you were born for something more, something deeper, something eternal. The loneliness you hated was actually your soul's womb, where divine power, vision, and spiritual clarity were formed. You had to be pulled away, so that when the time came to rise, you wouldn't echo the world. You'd carry truth. In your solitude, you became sensitive to energy, to purpose, to pain. You began to recognize divine patterns. You started feeling things before they happened. You began to awaken. This is why you couldn't distract yourself like others. This is why surface conversations drained you. This is why the ordinary life never fit, because you were never ordinary. You were being purified for a higher assignment. And purification hurts. It strips, it empties, but it also prepares. You were never alone. Heaven was closer than your breath. And now, because of that isolation, you walk with a wisdom that others don't have. You see through people. You feel truth in your bones. You know when something's off, and you can feel when something sacred is near. That's not weakness. That's spiritual intelligence. So now, chosen one, the world that once rejected you will need the wisdom you found in silence. You didn't go through all that just to survive. You went through it so you could lead. Let's step into what comes next, a reality that responds not to your wounds, but to your energy. Let's continue your awakening. Chosen one. They tried to shrink you, to silence your soul, to wrap your radiance in shame, and convince you that being small was safer, that being soft meant you were weak, that your voice, your truth, your presence was too much. But what they didn't know was that you were never meant to fit inside their boxes. You were born to break them. You were born to blaze through them with a light so raw, so ancient, it made their comfort tremble. You see, they didn't try to dim you because you were weak. They tried because they felt your power. Even when you couldn't, they saw something unexplainable in you, something that didn't bow, something that didn't break, even when bent. And that scared them, so they labeled you. They laughed at your dreams. They doubted your magic. And for a moment, maybe you did too. You questioned your worth. You second-guessed your intuition. You made yourself smaller to survive. But chosen one, not anymore. Because now you remember. You remember who you were. Before the world told you who to be. You remember that your voice carries truth, that your light heals rooms, that your presence shifts energy. And no, this isn't ego, this is essence. What they tried to silence was actually your divine assignment. The very thing they mocked was the thing God anointed. You didn't lose your power, you just forgot it. But now it's waking up again. Your pain didn't destroy you, it refined you. Your scars didn't break you, they blessed you. Every breakdown was a birthing. You didn't go through all that just to survive. You went through it so you could remember your sovereignty, and now you rise. Not with anger, but with alignment. Not to prove them wrong, but to prove yourself right. This isn't revenge, it's resurrection. You don't need their permission. You don't need their applause. You've already been chosen by something divine. And the same people who tried to dim your light will one day look to it for guidance. But you won't need validation. Because by then, you'll have found something far greater, self-recognition. You are no longer the version of you that doubted. You are no longer the soul begging to be seen. You see yourself now, and that is the beginning of everything. So step boldly, chosen one. Not into who they said you were, but into who you've always been. Next, let's talk about how the world, and even reality itself, is beginning to shift in response to your energy. It's time to stop reacting and start broadcasting. Let's go deeper. Chosen one, you didn't come here to blend in. You didn't come to follow the script written by fear, or to repeat the patterns that kept your ancestors in chains. You came here to break them. You came to interrupt cycles, to rewrite the code, to walk a higher path so that those behind you would never again have to crawl. There is a reason your life didn't make sense to others. A reason you couldn't just go along. You've always felt the pull, the sacred discomfort of knowing you were made for something more. That pull was never confusion. It was calling, and now the signs are louder, the nudges are stronger. 111 appears on clocks, receipts, and doorways, not by chance, but because you're being activated. Each time you see it, the universe whispers, "Now, chosen one, this is your time." The old version of you, the one who feared judgment, who kept dimming their light just to make others feel comfortable, that version no longer lives here. A new you has been born. Not perfect, but purposed. You were chosen to shift timelines, to step into alignment so powerfully that even reality must bend and reshape itself around your energy. You may not wear a crown on your head, but your spirit wears the markings of destiny. And now, your steps matter more than ever. This world does not need more noise. It needs your voice, your truth, your embodiment of light in a world addicted to pretending. You don't need to be perfect to walk this path. You just need to be real, to show up as you, raw, radiant, and awakening. The lies that told you to wait until you're ready were illusions. You've been ready since the day you were born. Now is not the time to hide. Now is the time to walk like someone who knows they're not alone, to walk like someone who understands that every step ripples across dimensions, to walk like someone who knows the path isn't found, it's forged. You're not walking for attention, you're walking with intention. Every word you speak now, every decision you make, every moment you choose light instead of fear, it shifts. Timelines, you are not ordinary, you are not lost, you are not late, you are activated, you are ascending, you are aligned. So rise, chosen one. Not because the world asked you to, but because your soul remembered that it was always meant to. In the next part of our journey, we'll go even deeper into the sacred truth that has always been waiting for you, the truth that you're not just walking a path, you are the path.